a neighboring business of ours in Mooresville happens to be Robert Yates Racing. And one day, a lady named Susan called me and said, "Can you clean a race suit for us?" And I don't follow this. I don't know anything about it.
You're not a NASCAR.
I'm not a NASCAR fan. I'm completely foreign to me. So I was like, well, sure, if it's got a care label in, I can clean anything. So she brings it down, and I look at it, it's like, well, sure, I can clean it. So she says, okay, just bring it back up to the shop there when you're done. So I go clean it, boom, 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 take it back up there. I leave it at the front desk because she wasn't available. And again, this is maybe 500 yards from my front door of my business to their shop. So I'm in the car to drive back, and before I get back to my business, the phone rings, and she's like, "Oh, I got another suit I need you to clean. This one turned out good." So I was like, okay. So I turn around, go get another suit, come back, clean it, boom, boom, same thing, same routine. Take it back, leave it at the front desk. Third time, before I get back to the shop, get a phone call. Susan needs you to come back up here and meet with her, and I think it was Doug, the owner. I was like, okay, that was weird. So I get there. She said they'll meet you. They'll talk with you in the conference room. I go in the conference room, and the suits are laid out on a table. I was like, oh, wow. And to me, they look great. I was like, I start going over the suits with a fine tooth going, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong?
What did I miss?
Yeah. So,
and did they, how bad were they when they came to you?
Well, they were greasy, you know. They were.
I would imagine, right?
They were dirty. I mean,
Gas,
and I thought
oil, whatever, dirt.
And I thought they looked beautiful.
Yeah.
So Doug and Susan walk in the door, and I immediately go to explaining myself. Listen, I did exactly what was on the care labels. And he was like, oh, no, we don't have a problem here. So we want to meet you. We did handshakes and stuff. And they said, we just like to know, what did you do to the suits? It's like, explained to them what the process was. And they said, well, would you take care of all of our stuff? I was like, well, I guess. And again, not understanding what's going on. I said, sure, you can bring it down and I'll clean it whenever you need it cleaned. And that happened for maybe 2 weeks.
How is it? So I find this very interesting that you can see somebody picking up their dry cleaning, and you have this light bulb moment where you're like, why don't we deliver dry cleaning? And you quit your job and you start a new business and you move to a new town. But then you end up in the conference room of a NASCAR team, and they're like, we want you to do all of our suits. And you go, sure, anytime. Just drop them by. Like, it didn't dawn on you that maybe this was an opportunity.
Absolutely
at that
not.
time?
Absolutely not. In hindsight, it's amazing. I'm probably glad I didn't know that. Which makes
you just were kind of like, sure. I mean, like, you can bring it with your, with your upholstered pillows that you
or
like,
Doug,
you
when you want those shirts you're wearing dry clean, just bring them with that.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'm going to get an extra couple shirts here a week.
Did you?
I might even get some
were you
office
charging
staff.
Anything different for the suits than you would your normal stuff?
No, and suits back then, I mean, it was such an easy process. I mean, it was a really easy process to get those things clean. So it was like $6 for a suit.
Oh my gosh.
It was nothing.
Okay.
And they would have been willing to pay $20 easily, I'm sure. But anyway, a couple weeks later, I get a phone call from them and said, do you mind if Simpson comes by and meets you, and they want to go through and kind of look at what you're doing to the suits? And I was like, well, sure, send him by. And of course, Simpson's not a person. It's the company that makes the race suits. That's how out of touch I am. I'm like, sure, send Simpson by. I'll talk to him.
Bring old Simpson over, and tell him on his way if he's got any shirts that he needs.
Bring them in. I need an extra couple of shirts. We're struggling over here. And so the guy's name was Terry Smith. He was their local rep or something. And so he comes in. He said, I saw the suits you cleaned for Yates. I was like, yeah. They said Simpson was going to be coming by, and then he explained to me who Simpson was. And so I was like, wow. So he says, I just need to see what you're doing. So I took him through the process, and he says, all I can tell you is when people start finding out, everybody's coming here. And I did not know what that meant. And for the next probably 6-8 months, that didn't mean anything. But the next year, I think Michael Waltrip Racing ended up being our next team after that. And then that same year, I think Penske Racing came, and then the floodgates opened after that. It was over. Word got out, and it was it.